Welcome for the quarterfinal match of Ruvente on the right side in blue against BlackBama, or by his team name kRIEGER, on in green. Please let me know if the sound is alright. I will try to fix it as soon as possible, but it does look alright from the usual stuff. So, what is this match? It's a quarterfinal match. Ruvente on the right side in blue won his match against 6 in the 8th finals, and on the other side, BlackBama won his group phase, and so he qualified highest of them all and started the tournament in quarterfinals. So we are once again on Komorebi. The last game which was held was also on this map, so it feels a bit redundant to do a presentation, but here we go nonetheless. Still, we have like the 5 minutes on aggression phase, so why not do it? So the vanilla map actually does not look like this. For the vanilla map, does not have on the left and the right side those two crystals, because it's the workshop version which allows 4 players to play at the same time. Usually this is only a 2-player map, so there are no other spawn points, but this has been changed. And yeah, this map is pretty much a good 1 versus 1 map. Why? Because like Kolibri, it is quite similar, like symmetrical, so both players have the same advantages, disadvantages as the other has, and it's quite small. For example, Kolibri is a huge map. We're gonna play it as a second map, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna be on this one rather soon. But yeah, it's quite big, so you have to travel a long time to get somewhere. But yeah, not on this one, so you can rush your enemy quite effectively once the 5 minutes on aggression phase is over. Plus, if you look at the resources, there are a lot of resources, like, don't get me wrong, you can do enough stuff with them, they're not sparse. But once you use those, for example, the brimstone here, or the iron on the other side, especially the iron, which you're gonna need a lot of, then you're gonna have to adventure quite far out, like almost on to the other side of the map, or at least the halfway point, just to get some of those resources. And this is the point where it gets dangerous, because we can see that, like, there's brimstone, then there's also here on the other side here, and here in the middle. So there are only like 4 other spots, same for the iron, which are usable, which does not count like the enemy base. So quite important to get your resources right and don't like lose a lot of them, because for example on Kolibri you can just like go further, and you still won't be at the halfway point of the map. But if you do it wrong, then yeah, you might not be so sure what happens. So there's 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the timer. Let me just check out the bases of each player. So we have Ruvente on the right side, who put 2 furnaces next to his crystals, putting the altar in front in order to shield his crystal. He's, from what I heard, a very good player, so very curious to see how he does stuff. But yeah, also having 8 lances and 5 helmets, now 6 helmets, so every one of his guys is now equipped, and we have still 1 minute on the non-aggression phase to go. 1 minute left. Alright. And meanwhile, on the other side, we have, oh my, we have 4x, but no kits ready whatsoever. So will BlackBama survive this initial rush? If it comes to an initial rush, it looks grim right now for him. Although he has a lot of resources, stats, but he doesn't have a furnace. He has one, but not another one, that's what I meant. And he has a lot of resources, like 3 iron ingots, but he doesn't have yet the 3 helmets. Will he maybe do a very quick production, which I doubt, because there are 15 seconds left now, and the time he comes, like, if Ruvente does rush in 5 seconds, then... Okay, let me just... and there we go. Non-Aggro Phase over. Now I'm gonna start the counter of 40 minutes for the rest of the match. And there we heard it, Ruvente spawned the 7th worker, and he has already 8 kits, so if he wants he can just go and rush his opponent, as well as use his 1 sentinel to already defend himself. But so far what he does not know, what Ruvente does not know, he has 7 Bricktrons and 8 kits, but his opponent also having now 7 Bricktrons, but has 0 kits. Well, now he has 3 lances, but 4 lances even. Just a minute ago he didn't have any of those. And so now he has 5 lances. The question is, will he be able to produce all the helmets in time? So yeah, if Ruvente, sorry if I pronounce this sometimes with somewhat of a Spanish accent, it's not intentional and I'm sorry for it. But yeah, if he would have gone for the early rush, this would have been already GG, and yeah, map number 2, Kolibri, here we would have come. But this is not what happened, and so there we go already with the sentinels, the defensive structures. And yeah, very curious to see how this map is gonna go, because we have 40 minutes left. Well, roughly 40 minutes. And the question is, will there be some big skirmish about the map control? Will there be some skirmish for the resources? Will there even be, I don't know, a counter rush? Will maybe at one point BlackBama just think, you know what, I'm gonna attack him now, and realize that, I don't know, maybe he's not in the winning position? We don't know yet. Stay tuned, and more after the break. No, I'm kidding, there's no break. We are 45 minutes live for the whole match, even 1 hour if it goes to overtime. So be ready for that. And now we can see that BlackBama is just making sure that all the helmets are produced. Right now he's having 4 helmets and 8 lances, so 4 helmets are missing. Only 3 now. But yeah, and we can see that BlackBama is working on a defensive structure, on those neat little castle walls, you could say. And yeah, just putting them around, making sure that all his stuff is defendable. Ironic though that his crystal on the other side is not defendable, or like defended right now. But yeah, let's check out what his opponent is doing, Ruvente. So with those small defensive structures, I see what he did. So what Ruvente did was he made sure that his base was basically defendable, or was defended by those 4 sentinels, and now he's just sending 3-man troops, 3-man parties out, having 1 worker left, it seems like, in the base. So 6 guys are now going on the offensive, and yeah, the question is, will he be able to inflict serious damage? Also, you can note he went only on one side, leaving the other side open. So for example, if it was a clockwise attack from his opponent, they would have totally missed each other. And now we can see him get closer to his opponent's base and being ready to rush. So very curious to see what's gonna happen here. But yeah, at least he was spotted by his opponent, it seems. Or is it just a coincidence that he called 4 people to the weapons? Because now, here he comes, and we can see that there are 5 people now, 6 people now in weapons, and he's trying to rush his crystal. Very interesting strategy. But now he's coming along, it's going to be a big old melee with 1 worker still left, trying to grab the other kid, and 1 of them died. 2 halberdiers are dead, and now who's going to win this fight? I am seeing more green than blue right now. I'm seeing 4 blues alive. 4 blues still alive. The problem is, if he loses all of his workers, 2, okay, so 3 people died in total, and now blue at a clear disadvantage, because the halberdiers are just gonna pursue him, and 1 of them is very low on health, so he might have lost another one there. Luckily for him, because if you lose all your workers, you lose the round automatically, but Ruvente still had 1 in the base, so even if all of them would have died, he would have still like been in the match, because there was still 1 alive. And now all the 4 halberdiers are just bringing the other 5 back to his base, and you can see that they keep healing themselves on the road, so there's no more risk of death. And now the question is, will the sentinels activate and be able to kill 1? And now it's gonna be a 5 versus 5 plus 4 sentinels, worst case scenario, or will he go for the rack? The sentinels activated. They shot a few light shots, but not too much. And now, Okay, the 5 halberdiers went back to the racks, put down their weapons, immediately put them down. Okay, interesting. And he immediately called them again. Okay, this is to heal them. Actually a technique which exists. And there are 5 walkers here. And you can see that there's 2 dead in the green base. 2 death. But the thing is, they are not alive. So if all of those die right now, and no one respawns, then green will have lost this round. Because all of his Bricktrons will have been dead. But so, now they are in a standoff, each looking at the other. The thing is, 5 against 5. Well, what do you do when it's 5 against 5? Because your enemy has the sentinels, so he's at a clear advantage. The problem is, the longer you wait, his souls will return and he will be able to equip them. And now you see, now it's a 6 against 5. So now even on an open field, you would lose this. The question is, will Ruvente be smart? And he already had one of them outside. Oh no, that's an enemy. Why didn't I see him on my radar, on the map? You can see here, there's supposed to be a white or like a green or blue dot. The thing is, alright, so there we have 5 workers, 5 halberdiers, my bad, in the standoff with 4 other halberdiers, and on the right side there's another one coming. So now it's green basically closing the net on his opponent. Okay, so the sentinels are also a deterrent always. The thing is, once again, okay, all the iron agates are lying on the ground. This looks bad. But the thing is, yeah, Ruvente can still keep on working, and actually one of his guys says, I don't care that you are there, I'm gonna try to get some brimstone, but he does not, because he cancelled it manually. The thing is, even though he's under siege, he clearly is under siege right now, the question is, if he would just, I don't know, like maybe build some bricks around his crystal, and then just send his people out through the middle to the enemy base, he could clearly easily win, because there are no kids left whatsoever. There's only 1 worker in the base, but now he called off the attack, and the BlackBama with 5 halberdiers is running back. 2 are coming back to stay, and the other one on the other side, I don't see him. Oh, okay, no, that's Ruvente's. Okay, it seems to be, yeah, he just returned to his base. So now 4 halberdiers are back to the base, with 2 others staying here as a scout, it seems. And yeah, Ruvente with the counter-scouting action to spot them and to find them. So now he can call in reinforcement, just contesting this map control of his enemy. And now you can see that he's also, Ruvente sending out 2 more halberdiers to scout on the right side to see if there are enemies somewhere else. Very interesting footage right now. Okay, and what is BlackBama trying to do? Okay, he goes for the racks. Problem is, now he's gonna call everyone to weapon and try to, well, just kill them. The problem is, will he lose the 1 lance? Or is it just 1 lance? To be honest, it's not worth that much. He would have, and he lost 1 halberdier. And the question is, will Ruvente pursue him? Sorry about that. Will Ruvente pursue him? Because he already has like 1 guy over here, 1 guy over here. He knows that there are like no other troops hiding in this area. He doesn't know what's happening over there. In theory, he could have like maybe put someone over here to cut back his retreat. But this raises a whole other set of problems. Because if he like puts 1 guy there, it's 1 guy less in the base. And especially if there would be reinforcements coming, he might lose him as well. So overall, rather dangerous to try this. And so now we go out here, we see that there's the first conquering ward, which is being put down by Ruvente. And yeah, overall, 1 soul waiting for respawn on the Ruvente side. And 1 also on the other side, and you can see that like in his base, he's just keep on working on drilling like in the base. And you can also see 2 knight kits are ready. So this is gonna be a huge game changer, because the knights can tank so much more than the halberdiers. Actually, I think it's quite the double amount of that. And he's also collecting grass, so he seems to be working on an archer kit, or maybe a rope bridge, but I don't see where he would put it, so we're gonna go with the archer. And it might seem very possible since there's 1 rack which is empty. Oh, my bad, the game seems to have some sort of issues right now. But yeah, we see that at the base, green is still like poking at the defenses, but not much is happening overall. And yeah, the second soul is making its way back to the base, so there are now 2 souls waiting to respawn. So right now, Ruvente is having a clear advantage with the one guy still on the side. And he just used his Conquering Ward in a very smart way because he put it down, okay? And then he kept the Halberdier in the position because it's gonna keep the Conquering Ward from, like, dying, so to speak. And now he can just use the same Conquering Ward and put it down another place and then keep a Halberdier there to make sure that it stays his. Okay, now he tried again to come forth with my god, with his Halberdier, but again, same as before, the 4 Halberdiers just chased him back. And the question is, what is he waiting for to kill this Halberdier? Because the problem is right now, yes, he can just simply use the Conquering Ward, conquer those crystals, but there's still one guy who has like to defend them instead of having a Conquering Ward. So as soon as he leaves this crystals area, he's gonna just lose it. So that's kind of a bummer. And second of all, as long as this guy is over here trying to poke the defenses, there are like 4 guys who, well, actually maybe just use 2 guys to try to chase him. And now you can see that this same guy seems to be scouting this base, like this crystal, to see what is happening. Is there maybe a ward you can easily destroy or not? And he's gonna spot that there's one Halberdier and realize that there's no capturing ward. And since there's no capturing ward, if he just chases this guy, or like maybe kills him, then Ruvente is gonna have a lot of issues, and the same applies over here too, because now his guy, Jumbo, is walking back with the ward, so it's a nice way to make sure that the ward doesn't get destroyed. But yeah, and now you can see here again, going all the way around just to check it out, and maybe, I'm just saying maybe, he's gonna enter a fight, but it doesn't seem like this, but now the other one comes, so he will have to run back to base, or provoke the fight, but if he provokes the fight against him, the other one will join, so this is gonna be a lost situation for him. And he seems to be running back. And most crucially now, there are 2 Halberdiers defending this crystal, and now there are also 2 Halberdiers on this crystal, and 2 on the other one. So basically now, Ruvente can see all of his side of the map, and like, he conquered those, so he's getting more crystals, more souls quicker than his opponent. As the night is setting in, we are still having we're a little short of 30 minutes, 27 minutes left on the match phase. So still a lot can happen. And now you can see that this other Halberdier is coming back, but since it's not conquered yet, those Halberdiers are mobile. And they're just going to attack his other Halberdier, his opponent, and pursue him back to base. And now comes the question. The problem is, Ruvente spent an awful lot of time just keeping the enemy scouts in check. Just making sure you don't come too far, you get back to your base and everything. And fine by me, if you want to do it, it's a good strategy to, well, stop your opponent's scout from getting too close. The problem is, he had basically nothing working in his base, or like no one working in his base. Even like the iron ingots, the 5 ingots are still on the ground, and he only has 3 extra kits and only Halberdiers. Even the forge isn't finished yet. And due to him having like 2 guys here as militia, 2 guys in the center, and 2 guys on the other crystal, and we can clearly see the strategy here with 1 guy in the area and the other one just serving as scout to see like if his enemy comes closer. We can see that for some reason the crystal just went a bit down, even though there's like 1 guy in the radius, but whatever. The problem is, he basically had no worker left in his base, like doing anything, because we can see right now there's only 1 soul there, and now there comes one Halberdier puts down his kit, and the other one comes back with a ward, but still only 2 people will be able to work here. Meanwhile, his opponent only used 1 Halberdier. Like, Bama used 1 Halberdier to just like make pressure on the enemy base, just attack, and keep his Halberdier's number up. The thing is, in the meantime, he now has 3 knight kits, 4 archer kits, and in total 8 Halberdier kits. So he can just go 3 knights, 4 archers, and 1 Halberdier, if he wants to, for his 8 people. He can just do this, and he's gonna shred his opponent, because he has like, well, the better kits. And yeah, what will you try to do against that? So he seems to have built a small party. So we have one worker, just someone who can like quickly destroy bricks if there are some, and it's a cheap alternative because it's the cheapest unit. 2 halberdiers, 1 archer, and 1 knight. So very interesting composition. And now here comes the first halberdier, and he's tanking a shot, tanking a second one, and now he's getting pursued by 2 halberdiers. The knight cannot catch them, so this doesn't matter almost, because he's just there to tank, not to pursue. And now he's starting, well, Ruvente fell back on the whole front, left this crystal to be abandoned, and now it's going to be the center crystal who's getting attacked because he just redirected his offensive. And now, as well, he has to leave it. He knows he cannot win this. There are 2 halberdiers coming, so first of all, you would lose this fight. Then there's an archer who can, even if you start running, kill you still. And then there's the knight, so even if you would have, like, I don't know, 3 halberdiers there to take the fight, the knight would just come and say, bye-bye. So yeah. And now the question is, with his flank exposed, will he try a counterattack, like with only 2 or 3 guys? Like, come over here and then try to go to the crystal and simply destroy it, even though there's like all those kids, but he does not know that his opponent has all those kids. Or will he have to defend his base, because right now... Oh, no, he's going for the flank. Okay, so green is going for the flank attack to make sure that he regains all of the map control, or at least chases his opponent out of it. And now they're coming over the right side, so he will have to cross them. So the archer, most importantly, the archer will be able to knock a few shots out of it, unless they don't come to him, but there they come. And will we have a big fight with the knight as well? The knight was able to give a few hits, so this one... Okay, so both of them tanked a few shots, so they should all... So the first one, Berg, should be roughly at halfway point, health-wise, and Cordelia should be like 3/4, I think. The thing is now, he's having, oh boy, 8 people in Halberdier's kit, and the 4 sentinels. And the 4 sentinels are a real problem, especially since to get to the sentinels, you will have to destroy like the structures around them, and you cannot easily do this because you're getting shot at. So this is like a very big deterrent if you ask me. But yeah, the thing is now, the knight is slow. Will the halberdiers catch him and maybe even kill him? And the thing is, if he can kill one of them, there are 8 people coming. If he doesn't have like 7 people ready in arms to defend the knight, or even just to be ready to fight, what's gonna happen? Okay, so now he put his knight in defensive structure, so he has an extra health bar. But he keeps on pursuing him, so the first half seems to be going for the archer and the halberdiers, while the second half is going for the knight, but now the knight is in the middle, and the knight is already down halfway, and the knight is dead. Only 2 knight kids left on the other side, and now the archer is trying to shoot, but what are the 2 halberdiers gonna do? There are 8 enemies left, so they are just getting completely obliterated. 3 guys are dead so far, and... yeah, okay, those are Ruvente's guys. And the archer is the only one from the 4 who is able to run away, and now 3 other halberdiers are coming. Did he just press C and try to call them to arms? Because why didn't they pick the knight's kit? Maybe 2 knights would have been better, but now another archer is down. Well, the archer is down, and now only 4 halberdiers are left. Actually, Ruvente can win this map right here, right now, if he kills all of the workers, all of the enemy halberdiers. Okay, so there we see 2 other halberdiers. 3 halberdiers. Okay, 3 halberdiers left alive. 3 people in total left alive. Against, well, 6, 8, yeah, halberdiers. Okay, 2 halberdiers left. Meanwhile, Ruvente, 8 halberdiers in total. Okay, 1 respawned already. So maybe it's gonna be a 3rd halberdier soon, but he should really pick... Just take the knight's kits. I think it would be like the only option you have against like a 6-man halberdier rush. And now the 2 other halberdiers are back. Will one of them die? One of them is already dead. My bad for the camera angle. And the last halberdier is running, and now another knight is coming. Will he try to re-equip his... Oh, it seems to be a close fight, but his knight is getting targeted. All of them are around. It looks bad, it looks bad. 2 other just respawned. Will they be able to grab a kit rapidly enough? Oh, the knight is dead too. And now only two guys left again. Two guys just respawned. And now the archer. Why is there an archer? You shouldn't use an archer immediately because now... Oh, another one. And now just Ruvente saying, okay, you know what? I'm not caring about your guys. I'm just going to destroy your crystal. As simple as that. What are you going to do? Because you can't stop me. And now there are 3 guys left, but they have to witness as their crystal is getting destroyed. Because even with the best kits, they cannot do anything. GG, one map is over. We are going to Komorebi next. Stay with us. We will be back shortly.